talented musician that you have just seen on screen is Tiajuana Hernandez. She's a musician, she's a small business owner, and she's also a lupus survivor. And today is World Lupus Day, so we're going to have a conversation with regard to that. Good morning, Tiajuana.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. And I must say that you are quite a talented musician.
Thank you.
But aside from a musician, you are a small business owner, you are completing your degree in music at the University of the West Indies, and you're also a lupus survivor. And we want to find out about your story. So first off, when did you first realize, or when did you first start experiencing symptoms of lupus?
In 2018 was my first realization that something was wrong, because I started getting symptoms such as rashes on my skin. But prior to that, I actually had a lot of joint pain that I thought was just juvenile arthritis, and I didn't take it that seriously. But after things got worse and I had a series of other symptoms that I had to get checked out, and that is how I found out.
Symptoms like what?
Pardon?
Symptoms like what? You said you had other symptoms. What were the other symptoms you experienced?
I had other symptoms such as fevers. I had frequent fevers. I fainted at school several times. I had chest pains.
Wow.
I started playing trumpet and I realized that I got a lot of chest pain. And following that, I had headaches and I had random fatigue. But what made it the scariest thing, I would say, was my hair loss. I had a lot of hair and I got patches of hair was dropping, and I had a lot of rashes on my skin. It got worse to the point where I had to do a biopsy to be able to determine what illness I was experiencing or what was wrong with me at that point in time. Yeah. I had a lot of loss of appetite and I started to experience brain fog. And this brain fog, I would walk somewhere and say, I'm going to do something, but when I get there, I'm like, what did I come here to do? I would forget a lot. But apart from that, I had joint pains and arthritis. It was very severe to the extent where I was unable to walk. I was unable to pull my pan sticks to play pan. And at school, there were several times when I blacked out. I had times while during ensemble, I would be practicing and my foot started swelling and I dropped to the floor. My friends had to help me. Many times, friends had to drop me home because I would travel home from school. Many times, they will have to lift me to even get to the car, to get home from pan or from school. It was a very hard experience. I did African drumming at UWI, and right before my exam, I started getting these lesions on my hands that were very painful. They were scaly, they were itchy, they were red, and I was unable to play. One of my lecturers, he actually really tried with me, and I still was unable to really execute. I did concerts at school that were for marks, and my teachers had to take it easy on me for several times, and I had to take a medical leave, which was one of the hardest things because being a musician, you really want to improve.
Right.
And knowing that something like this could happen to you, and you had all these goals, going from one day being able to jump on a stage to one point I actually played with one of my bands, and at semifinals, during the performance, I fainted, and we didn't take it that seriously to think that something was wrong and I had lupus. We just thought it was the sun and it was hot, so I fainted. However, pardon?
So Tiajuana, as a young person, going through all that, it's so heartbreaking, it sounds so traumatic. But as a young person, when you first got your diagnosis, hearing it from a doctor that you have lupus. What was that feeling like?
Firstly, I did not know what lupus was. And when you research it, you would see that it is something that has no cure. And they would say to you that it is an autoimmune illness. So thinking an autoimmune illness, it means that your immune system isn't functioning well. It's not only fighting viruses, but it's also attacking your healthy cells,
Right.
where your white blood cells just attack anything. Just hearing something like that gets you very scared.
Of course.
At first, I thought it was the end of the world and that I couldn't do anything, that I was going to die. And I had all these dreams. So knowing that I wanted to do so much and this happened, I was depressed. I didn't want to talk to anybody. People would call. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to play pan. I just wanted to be back on my feet, walking again to play pan. And I started crying. I probably cried morning and night. And it was very scary. I think my family was scared as well. And I didn't know what to tell people. So after that, I decided to educate myself about it because I wanted to know how or what I could do. I think at that point, I was only studying pan. So I wanted to know what can I do to get back to playing pan or to hold my sticks because I was unable to bend my fingers. I was unable to hold my pan sticks. So that in itself was very depressing. I started speaking to other persons with lupus and there are two types of persons. There are persons that are depressed about it and they just gave up. And I believe that they experience more symptoms than I experienced.
Right.
So it's very difficult for them.
And Tiajuana, we are out of time actually, but just tell me the one thing that you held on to that gave you the strength to persevere as you have. Just one thing, quickly.
I believe that I did not want to give up without achieving my goal. So I wanted to become a teacher, a music lecturer. I want to play with supernovas. And I just wanted to get out there and be an inspiration to others. Let them know that they cannot give up and there are ways to cope with lupus.
And Tiajuana, you are definitely an inspiration. I want to thank you for sharing your story with us this morning. I want to say happy World Lupus Day, and you continue doing the things that you are doing and being an inspiration to others as well, because you are definitely personification of strength.
Thank you.
All right, that is Tiajuana Hernandez, who's a musician, a UE student, as well as a lupus survivor, and so much more, small business owner as well. Natalie,